Just met a 48-year-old cage fighter with his pit bull. It was an interesting conversation. What's the phrase? Some days you're the hammer, other days you're the nail. Today was definitely I'm a nail day today. It's a deload week, thank goodness, because my central nervous system was absolutely fried after those 200s on Saturday. But it's also 6 months since I started doing the vlog and training for masters sprinting, so I thought I'd do a review during the week whilst I do my workouts. So this week, being a deload, maintain the intensity, reduce the number of reps. So I was really just going to cover 3 questions this week. Why master sprinting? Why do the vlog? And then reflect on lessons learnt in the last 6 months. So if that's of interest, carry on watching. So why master sprinting today? I think I was watching one of my first or second vlog, and I never actually did any kind of introduction, just started vlogging. So I think I probably need to give a bit of context briefly. So let's go back. I live in East Anglia. I'm going to be 60 next year, but I was born in Croydon, and the relevance of that will become apparent fairly soon. We moved down to the south coast and I grew up in Worthing, and I used to be a member of Worthing Harriers and competed at long jump 100, 200 as an under 12 and an under 15. Then gradually drifted away, played tennis for 20 years, did quite a bit of road cycling, done a lot of road running. But if anyone ever asked me what I was, I would say I'm a sprinter who plays tennis, or I'm a sprinter who plays on the wing in rugby, or I'm a sprinter who does road cycling, because that has always been my kind of innate core. And I'm also a lot more fast twitch than I am aerobic, that's for sure. So in my heart I'd always been a sprinter. And then in 2019 I did actually start training for master sprinting again, because I'd been thinking about it for a number of years. Picked up a knee injury, we went into the COVID lockdown and things kind of quietened down again. And then last year I came back into running, PB'd all of my kind of road distances that I ran. Got to the start of this year, looked at it thinking, do I just want to carry on trying to bang out PBs on the road? And to be quite honest, I could not get myself motivated to do that at all. And I started thinking about sprint training all over again. But I realised I had to go all in. I couldn't just rely on doing the odd 400 at the track once a week. I needed to either train for sprints or not train for sprints. So that's where we ended up in May, when I started training. In terms of competing, I knew I wanted to get back on track, compete in one of the veterans leagues, so I then had to look for a club, which is where Croydon comes in. I had been a member of a local road running club in East Anglia, but being an introvert with a small emotional battery, getting too involved in a local club was just not my cup of tea, and I ended up leaving that because it just didn't work out for either of us. But I thought, and I had been thinking about quite a while, joining Croydon, because my dad used to train there, I was born there, and they welcomed me with open arms. Hence how I started competing for them in the Veterans League earlier this summer in 2024. So yeah, that's the kind of background to how I got where I am. I'm going to do a couple of 400 reps, and then we'll just talk about why anyone would be mad enough to want to train for 400 meters. And I have to ask myself that question quite a lot of the time. Anyway, I'll speak in a bit. Bye. Nice steady one done. Just met a 48-year-old cage fighter with his pit bull. It was an interesting conversation. Anyway, I'm going to speed these up a bit now, do a couple of faster ones, just to keep the legs turning over, but the legs are still trash on those 200s. Wow, they took it out of me. Anyway, back in a bit. Okay, now gentle one, 127 to start. And I did two fastish. First one 114, second one 110. I'm in one of those kind of funny phases today where I'm fatigued but the legs are feeling fresh in some respects. So I could have done a lot more, but got to dial it back this week. So why train for master sprinting? If you're thinking of starting or you're sitting on the fence, give it a go. I don't regret for 1 minute doing this or starting this, and I literally have enjoyed every workout, even when I've had niggles and pains and stuff like that. Why the 400? That is the one question I ask myself a lot, because it's hell. I said in an earlier video, which you may or may not have seen, having goals and plans. I don't know what I'm going to be best at. I did 100 and 200 as a kid and long jump. I've done a lot of aerobic stuff as an adult, so I kind of just thought 200, 400. I don't have the embarrassment of not being able to use blocks on a 100, so I'm going to target those two to start off with a sub 60 for 400 as the main goal. And in 6 or 12 months time we may well end up here with me talking about my upcoming 100 metres and 200 metre season. I just don't know. I don't think I'll end up doing 800, but it's part of the journey that I'm on to figure out what I could be best at and what I would get the most joy from, which is important to me. But yeah, joining a track club again has been great. Getting back on a track in a competitive environment has been great. I mean, I grew up on a grass track down in Worthing. Those were the days. But yes, so hopefully that's kind of answered why. In my soul I feel like I'm a sprinter. I'm fast twitch. I love running fast as I can, and always have. So it was kind of a natural place to return, I think, and hopefully it'll keep me going until, you know, I'm not going anymore. Anyway, that's done for today. Got some turnover in the legs. Be a dog jog and kettlebells tomorrow. Then I will speak to you on Wednesday, where it'll either be hills or some 60 metre repeats again. Bye for now. Morning. Wednesday, dog jog. It's about 7 o'clock. Chilly and misty. Still nice and calm though, which is good. So we'll get into this and then we'll have a catch up. Speaking a bit. So we're doing the usual, when I say we, I mean me and Bailey, our usual 4K loop around the Marks Hall estate / arboretum. And we always keep these unstructured. They're kind of more of a run walk than anything. So I use them as recovery. He gets a good workout. And if you've ever tried to run with a cockapoo, you know it's more like a fartlek session than anything constant. So yeah, beautiful morning, not a breath of wind. But all the ponds are drying up. We need some rain. It's not good. Anyway, question 2. Why do this vlog? When I came back to sprinting, I was scouring the internet and YouTube for kind of content around training plans and what it was like to train as a masters runner and all those kind of bits and pieces. And especially on YouTube, I was trying to look for some channels that I could relate to. And there's plenty, well, there's a few channels out there. Some younger guys are training for 400. Shore King, I think, might be worth looking up. And there's loads of videos around how to run a faster 400 and how to improve your acceleration and plyometrics and all that kind of stuff. But I couldn't find anything like this, or anyone like this. I've stumbled across a couple of people since who do longer distance stuff, and I follow them. But yeah, I just wanted to capture my training whilst I was training. So I just use a little GoPro on a little extendable handle most of the time. Sometimes take the drone with me, talk to camera, talk you through what I'm doing, whinge about how hard it is, with a view to just kind of diarising what was going on. And initially that was just for me, and I thought it's going to be quite a niche market, and it's been a slow burn in terms of followers, but I'm pleasantly surprised in terms of the numbers now. And I think one of the best things I've got out of this is, I wouldn't say, well, yeah, connecting with people, but people who are following or have watched some of the videos have always made really constructive or encouraging comments, very supportive of each other. So yeah, in that respect it's worked well. It's not too much of I don't find it a drain to do. I thought I'll try and keep these succinct, maybe to about 10 minutes a week. I generally miss that target, but yeah, edit them into fairly half decent little videos, I hope. You think the first ones were a bit toe curling, and just put it out regularly, and if people get something from it, great. If they don't, they won't watch and they won't follow. So yeah, that's the why, really. And I think that's enough chat, isn't it, for one day. Got to get this run done. Haven't had breakfast yet, and then plan to get some hills done later this morning, so I can have a good 2 to 3 days off before I do those 300 metre time trials yet again. And anyway, Bailey wants to go, so I've got to fly. See you soon. Saturday track, trying to get this week wrapped up. So today I've got 300 metre time trials, so 2 times 300 again, 12-minute recovery. So exactly the same that I did 3 weeks ago, and it's 3 weeks now until I'll be racing indoors on Sunday the 1st of December. So a good check, see how the last 2 weeks have gone, see how the legs are feeling after a couple of days off. Before we go though, just going to wrap up the review because I want to concentrate on the want to concentrate on the 300s. So the last question I was going to kind of answer, I think, was what's the biggest lessons or lesson I've learned. And I think this just comes down to one for me in the last 6 months, and that is don't do too much too quick, regardless of whether you're super fit or you think you are, coming off a road running background, or you're just getting back into sprinting. Get a plan, stick to the plan. No matter how fresh you feel, you've got to step through it. Back in May when I started, I had about 4 weeks, I think, until my first race. So I completely bypassed the base period, went straight into some 100% efforts. And unsurprisingly, that's when I got hamstring tendinopathy, my hip flexors started playing up, etc, etc. So yes, biggest lesson, get a plan, follow the plan, even if you dial it back each week slightly. So if you've got 7 reps to do and you're starting to feel fatigued, dial it back to 6. But yeah, it's taken 6 months for my body to calm down as a 59-year-old. So if you're 35 and watching this, it might take you a little bit less time to recover. But certainly as you're heading towards 60, your body naturally takes time to adjust to a change, and it's a damn sight longer than you wish it was, but it is what it is. So stick with it, get yourself a 5 or 6 month plan before you compete. That would be my biggest lesson learnt in the last 6 months. Anyway, I am going to draw a line under the 6 months review now. Last week it felt like a good idea, but this video is probably going to be about 20 minutes long now, which, well, if you're still here, well done. You have great stamina. Anyway, let's get the 2-300s done. I'll put the timings up on the screen with the drone, and we can chat about it afterwards. See you in a bit. Bye. That first one was not good. The lactate kicking into my legs. I must have gone off too fast, like way too fast. We'll have a look on the video when we get home. But yeah, well, the handheld was saying 45, Garmin saying 43 something, which is, yeah, poor pacing. If I got the pacing better, would I have gone faster? I don't know. We'll see on the next one. Treat that as a warm-up. Got a few minutes to let the body 100% recover before we go again. So I'll check in a bit. But yeah, that was deeply disappointingly executed. Right, hey ho, back in a bit. What's the phrase? Some days you're the hammer, other days you're the nail. Today was definitely I'm a nail day today. That second one was not quite an unmitigated disaster, but well, you'll see on the drone clip I'll put up in a minute. It was playing up, which didn't help. Got the pacing a lot better. I mean, that first one it was like the last 100 meters of a 400 meters in the last 50 or 60 meters of that 300. It was horrific, but at least I got the pacing better this time round. But got a bad start. Other couple of bits you'll see of the clip before the drone decides to play up. But yeah, not great. Sitting here having a sulk at the moment, but is what it is. I can't turn the clock back. I mean, it's bloody cold today. There's no wind, which is great, but I mean, it is pretty parky, so I'm, you know, I can probably come up with a whole list of excuses, but it just didn't feel spectacular at all. Anyway, home to do kettlebells because I cannot do them tomorrow, otherwise Monday will be a disaster. But yeah, we're going to need to just write this off to experience and focus for the next 2 or 3 weeks in terms of training. But yeah, not great. Anyway, I will see you all next week.